Hello everyone, my name is Sarah and today I'm excited to take you on a mini tour of my visit to the Charles Hosmer Morse Museum of American Art in Winter Park, Florida. This museum is a treasure trove of decorative arts, especially the works of Louis Comfort Tiffany, which ties directly into what we've been exploring this class with the Art Nouveau movement. Over the course of this presentation, I'll share where I went, what I saw, how I felt, why I think it's important, and how it connects to our class material. So let's get started. So, where did I go? The Morse Museum is located in Winter Park, Florida. It's well known for housing the largest collection of works by Tiffany Studios and for its exceptional display of turn-of-the-century decorative arts. I chose this museum because in class we looked at Art Nouveau, and I had heard that Tiffany's glasswork is a prevalent display. I figured his work was a prime example of design responding to industrialization and nature. Visiting it in person seemed like the perfect choice. Next, what did I see? To give you an overview, the museum currently features many exhibitions, including Tiffany Art Glass, Lamps and Lighting, Tiffany Chapel, View of Oyster Bay, and more. I spent a lot of time in the Tiffany galleries, but the museum also expands into broader design movements of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The variety is impressive: stained glass windows, lamps, pottery, decorative metalwork, and entire room reconstructions. Focusing in, I was particularly drawn to Tiffany's stained glass and glass techniques. For example, in the Tiffany art glass installation, you can see how by the turn of the century, Tiffany and his artisans were mastering nearly any texture, color, or form. The exhibit, titled Secrets of Tiffany Glassmaking, reveals techniques like mosaics, molded glass jewels, and leaded glass windows. One standout piece is View of Oyster Bay, a leaded glass window that at one time was displayed at the Met in New York, and only until the summer of this year, 2025, it's at the Morse Museum. Standing in front of this window, seeing the light pass through the leaded glass, it truly felt like stepping into a different era. What was it like, personally? Walking through the museum felt immersive. The rooms are carefully lit so the glass glows. You can sense the craftsmanship in the material. The Tiffany Chapel interior is especially memorable. Originally created for the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, now reinstalled in the museum, and it gives you the scale and grandeur of Tiffany's architecture and glass design. The atmosphere is calm yet evocative. The shimmer of the glass, the organic shapes of the Art Nouveau pieces, and the sense of art meets craft in the decorative arts makes it just more than visual. It's sensory. One moment I remember, looking at a Tiffany lamp and realizing the pattern of the glass, the curves of the shade, and the interplay of light and color all come together so intentionally. Why is this work or experience important? First, from an artistic and technical standpoint, Tiffany's work pushed the boundaries of glassmaking. He experimented with textures like lava glass, pitted surfaces, agate glass, and elevated glass from just being just a window to being a luminous, expressive medium. Second, in terms of cultural history, Tiffany's stained glass and decorative art emerged during a time of industrial growth, mass production, and changing aesthetics. The Art Nouveau movement, which we studied in class, was a response to the industrial age. Artists wanted to infuse nature, elegance, and craftsmanship into everyday objects. The Morse Museum's Art Nouveau from Europe and America exhibition points directly to this. Third, the preservation of these objects at the museum means we can study design, history, material culture, and aesthetic ideals of an era. So, in many ways, it connects to broader cultural and historical themes, not just nice stuff to look at. How does it connect to our class and culture? Well, in our humanities class, we explored how Art Nouveau emerged across Europe and America. Curves, nature motifs, decorative style, rejecting the rigid forms of industrial mass production. And the Tiffany works are a perfect embodiment of that. For example, seeing a Tiffany lamp next to a piece of mass-produced furniture makes visible the contrast between bespoke design and mechanized factory goods. The Morse Museum also reveals how decorative arts, like glass, pottery, furniture, are all part of cultural expression. They tell us about what people valued, how they lived, and how art intersects with daily life. So the museum visit isn't just about pretty objects, it's about culture, design history, and the human impulse to craft beauty, even in an industrial world. Reflecting on my visit, I walked away with a greater appreciation for how materials and craft matter. Reading about Tiffany in class gave me context, but seeing the physical pieces, the glass shimmering, the detail of the lampshades, the room settings, makes the history more tangible. It made me think, how many times do we pass by decorative objects without realizing their story? Also, I felt inspired by seeing how one designer, Tiffany himself, could influence everything from windows to lamps to entire interiors. If I were to go back, I'd spend even more time in the arts and crafts/design movement galleries to compare Tiffany's contemporaries. If you ever get the chance, I'd encourage you to visit and see how light transforms glass. It's something you can't capture fully in a photo, and trust me, I've tried. So, in conclusion, my visit to the Morse Museum in Winter Park allowed me to experience firsthand the works of Louis Comfort Tiffany and the rich decorative arts of the late 19th to early 20th centuries. The stained glass and design pieces revealed how art, technique, culture, and history all intertwine. The experience underscored what our class has been showing us. Culture isn't only in paintings or monumental art, it's in objects, light, material, design, and the way people lived. Thank you for listening.